How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Falcon's Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for the series is going to be my review on the 2023 comedy film, and this is the sequel to the 1997 cult classic film, and that is Good Burger 2. Now, this is directed by Traill, who you may know him as the director of films such as All About Steve and Charlotte Girl. And like I said before, this is the sequel to the 1987 cult classic film known as Good Burger. And in this film, we see Dexter Reed, once again played by Kenan Thompson. He is now down on his luck after one of his inventions fails. And from there, we see Ed, once again played by Kel Mitchell. He welcomes Dex back to Good Burger with open arms, and he gives him his old job back. And with a new crew working at Good Burger, we see Dex devises a plan to help him get back to his own feet. However, it puts an ultimate fate to Good Burger itself, in which it is at risk once again and all that. So that's pretty much the story of Good Burger 2. Now, the first movie, Good Burger, which came out back in 1997, it was met with mixed reviews from critics when it first came out. But since after it was released and over the years flew by, it has gained a bit of a massive cult following from those who grew up with that movie when they were younger. But as for myself, I never really watched that film when I was growing up as a kid. But I did manage to check out that film before I was going to check out the sequel. And so I did watch the original film on Netflix just before seeing this film. And after watching the original film, I had a really good time with that movie. I thought it was overall a really good yet entertaining comedy film from Nickelodeon Movies. And even since that film was released, there's been a few discussions over the years, like there was going to be a sequel to the original film. Like I've heard a few people say like the sequel was going to happen. I've even heard a few people said like the sequel was not going to happen until last year. They did say that we were officially going to get the long-awaited sequel to Good Burger. And once I did see the trailers for this movie, I was pretty curious to see what this one was going to go for here. But I was really excited to see that Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell will come back together to make another movie together and all that. Since that huge cult film and all that everyone knows and loves and all that. And so this film came out on Paramount Plus just a few weeks ago, which it came out on the 22nd of November, but I didn't check out on release date because I want to see a few of the things around the time when that was coming out. And so I just recently got done watching this film this morning, and after watching the sequel here, I gotta say, this sequel surprisingly wasn't bad here. I thought the sequel was overall pretty solid here. For Kenan Thompson's performance as Dex, he is once again really good in the movie here. And yeah, he's also really funny as well for some of the scenes that he was able to showcase here and there in this film. And as for Kel Mitchell as Ed, he is, of course, once again, really funny in the movie here. Like, I really love Ed so much. He's just so funny for being such a really silly, lovable character here. And as for the chemistry between Kel Mitchell and Kenan Thompson, it is just once again really great and really funny here. And as their relationship in the film, it is still strong here, just like the original film. And as for some of the the cast members who are in this film here, like you've got some of the returning cast members from the previous film, which they were pretty solidly good here. As for some of the new people who are in this film here, in which you've got like Jillian Bell as the villain, I thought she was pretty solid in the film here as the villain, and you've got like Lil Rel Howery in the film as well, which I thought he was also pretty solid as well. And as for the humor in this film, I thought it was overall pretty strong here for some of the bizarreness and oddness that we see in this film here. You know, it's mostly due to like Kel Mitchell like stealing every single scene throughout the entire film here and all that. And while it does tend to have a few like references to the original film and all that, which I thought were pretty surprising and all that. And there are a few like cameos in the film here, which I thought were pretty surprising. Although there were a few cameos in the film here that I felt didn't fit into that movie that much and all that. And as for the story for the film, it isn't too bad here. Like, I found the story overall just decent here and all that through this whole new adventure for Dex and Ed in the film here, in which in this film we see that like Dex, like he's moved on with his life and all that, and at the moment he's just down in his luck until his best friend Ed welcomes him back to Good Burger and all that to help him get back to his feet and all that. And we see like Dex is doing a scheme behind Ed's back and all that. Like he wants to like he's trying to sell Good Burger and all that to this new company and all that, which is Julian Bell's character and all that. And while for that it is kind of a bit similar to the original film and all that, where it does kind of play out like something's going to happen to Good Burger and all that, while it also represents the relationship between Dex and Ed and all that. And I kind of wish this film could have done something new here and all that, but I wouldn't necessarily say the story isn't overall bad and all that, because just like I said before, I thought the story was just overall decent here, and this film does tend to have a few setups and all that, which there were a few that I kind of felt were a bit too much and all that as well. But in the end, guys, Good Burger 2, I thought this was overall a solid sequel here, and if you're a massive fan of the original 1997 cult classic film, I can definitely tell you will definitely have a really good time with this sequel here. And if you do have Paramount Plus, it is available to stream on Paramount Plus for free here. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Good Burger 2. I'm going to give Good Burger 2 3.5 out of 5. Despite having a few flaws I did have with the sequel here, I still managed to have myself have a pretty solid time here with the sequel here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on Good Burger 2, and let me know what you think of the sequel if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked out the sequel. Did you have a really good time with this, or are you very disappointed with this? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Fogan's Media Corner signing off.